In this video, we'll do some conversion of units so you can perhaps be a little bit more familiar with the metric system and learn how to convert back and forth. Most of these conversions I'm going to do start with the measurement in the English system of units and end up in the metric system. Inside most physics books, you would find a list of conversion factors. 1 inch is 2.554 centimeters. And I'm going to have something special to say about this one. This one is a unique conversion factor. I'll talk more about it at the end. But a mile per hour, 1 year, 3.156 times 10 to the 7th seconds. So the first example here, suppose we have a person who's 6 feet 2 inches tall, and we want to know what this height is measured in meters. So first I would convert the 6 feet into inches. 6 feet is converted by multiplying by 12 inches divided by 1 foot. That is an equality. 1 foot is 12 inches, so I can multiply by 1. This is 1 in the form of 12 inches divided by 1 foot. And the feet units cancel. When you put in these conversion factors, you must be careful to always have a cancellation between your numerator and denominator. To make this more obvious, let me write it this way. I can write 6 feet as 6 feet by itself, or 6 feet divided by 1. And now it's more obvious that this is a numerator, and here we have a denominator. Those units cancel, and we're left with inches, 72 inches. This person was beyond 6 feet by 2 inches, so we add 2 inches. So now we have 74 inches to work with, and we again bring in a conversion factor. Again, 74 inches divided by 1. Now we see this is numerator, denominator, the inches units cancel, and you get some extra digits here. I'm choosing to round off the final answer to 2 significant figures, 1.9 meters, roughly matching what I had to work with here, the 74 inches. So roughly a person is about 2 meters tall. A tall person is about 2 meters tall, and many people are just slightly underneath 2 meters. What about a basketball? United States, we have a lot of interest in basketball. 9.5 inches is approximately the diameter of most basketballs, NBA basketball. So we have 9.5 inches, again multiplying by the 2.54 centimeters for 1 inch, and we find 24 centimeters would be the diameter. And again, I'm kind of matching the number of digits in my answer with the number of digits in my data, the significant figures. I'm not paying strict attention to that, but somewhat. Speed of sound, 767 miles per hour. That might be a little approximate. That's just what I looked up on the internet. Maybe not the best source. But convert to meters per second. The conversion factor is 0.447. Meters per second is 1 mile per hour. So the miles per hour cancel, and we're left with 343 meters per second. That's a little bit warmer than 20 degrees Celsius, perhaps, but that would be one of the speeds. The speed of sound does vary with temperature. Not going to go into that. Diameter of the Earth in miles, 7,917. If we want kilometers, I pull in the conversion factor, 1.609 kilometers per mile. The miles units cancel, and again, 4 significant figures in my data, so I have 4 significant figures in my answer, 12,704. So I think you're seeing the trend here. When you have a unit that you want to change, you should bring in a conversion factor where the unit you want to get rid of is in the denominator. Let's do some others here. In terms of speed, I looked up the world record for 100 meters is 9.58 seconds. Usain Bolt should just be 2009. Calculate the average speed first and convert to miles per hour. It's average speed because this is for the whole distance traveled, 9.58 seconds. So first 100 meters divided by 9.58 seconds. So the average speed, 10.4 meters per second. I want to get rid of meters per second. So now my miles per hour and meters per second conversion factor has meters per second in the denominator. And we get 23.3 miles per hour. A very fast person runs faster than 20 miles an hour. A passenger jet, they have different cruising speeds, but sort of in the middle, 580 miles per hour. Bring in a conversion factor with miles per hour in the denominator, they cancel those units. So 260 meters per second. Very roughly, when you change from miles per hour to meters per second, the number is divided by a factor of 2. Omaha, Nebraska, where I live, to Lincoln, 56 miles travel distance. If I want to know how many kilometers that is, I use 1.609 kilometers per mile. The miles units cancel, and roughly 90 kilometers is that distance. And what about your age? I'll do this example for someone who just had their 19th birthday. They've had 19 trips around the sun. So 19 years and 3.156 times 10 to the 7th seconds is 1 year. So we would have a person with an age of 60 times 10 to the 7th seconds. It's just the 19 times the 3.156 produces the 60. And then if I want to do in more standard scientific notation, I'll move the decimal place 1 to the left instead of 60.0, 6.0. And since I move the decimal place to the left, I have to make the power of 10 1 greater. So 6 times 10 to the 8th seconds would be this person's age. Or in terms of millions, a million is 10 to the 6th. So it'd be 600 million seconds for someone who's lived 19 years. Now just a little curiosity about the inch unit. Prior to 1959, different countries had slightly different conversions into the metric system. But in 1959, international agreement set the 1 inch as exactly 2.54 centimeters. The other conversions factors I give you are a little bit approximate. This one is defined. This is the connection between the distance in the English system and the distance in the metric system. 1 inch is defined to be 2.54 centimeters. Again, I hope you are careful doing conversion of units. Your starting unit has to be in the denominator for the placement of the conversion factor. Pay attention to putting the conversion factor denominator in the proper position. And I can let you know if you're interested in more of these videos, physics and astronomy. I have these videos indexed at 2 websites, physics.gpclements.com, astronomy.gpclements.com, and they're somewhat organized, a little description. It's totally free. You do not enter your email. You do not enter your name. I don't collect any information. Just free to use. Hope you enjoy.